only difference between globe earthers and flat earthers is flat earthers take it upon faith that the men who wrote the Bible are telling the truth. Globe earthers take it upon faith that the men who wrote the science books are telling the truth.
I'm not going to stand here, present some egghead scientific argument based on fact. And I can't change their mind. I won't change my mind because I don't have to. I won't change my mind on anything, regardless of the facts that are set out before me.
Mac, look, you're wasting our time. You're not going to get us to not believe.
And why is that?
Because the smartest scientists in the entire world all agree that it's real.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because, Mr. Reynolds, science is a liar sometimes.
Oh, this is insane, you fool!
I'm a fool because I have more faith in the saints that wrote the Bible?
Yeah, because you just read the words of a bunch of guys that you never met, and you just take it on faith that everything they wrote was true.
And what makes you think what your scientists are writing is any more truer than my saints?
Because there are volumes of proven data, numbers, figures.
Have you poured through the data yourself? The numbers, the figures?
Well, no. No.
Oh, interesting. So let me get this straight, Mr. Reynolds. You get your information from a book written by men you've never met. And you take their words as truth based on a willingness to believe, a desire to accept, a leap of, dare I say it, faith?
Come on. Look, I don't even know how I'm supposed to respond to that. Come on. That's a false equivalency.
Just answer the question, Mr. Reynolds.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I rest my case.
Oh, that got me. Yeah.
Thank you, Frank.
Three Chinese astronauts aboard the nation's space station are getting ready to teach their first science class from space. Hello there, you're watching The World Today, coming to you live from Beijing. I'm Xiao Yang. Chinese astronauts will be giving a lecture to young students on Earth this afternoon from the nation's space station.
So I have a ping pong ball. I put it into the glass of water. Can you see that? The ping pong ball actually not really coming back to the surface, right? It's inside the water. So that's phenomenon quite different from what you have there on Earth, because that buoyant force actually seems disappear because there's no gravity here. So we talk about that in the absence of a gravity, there seems like no buoyancy.
I'm Don Pettit. I'm a NASA astronaut. I've flown 3 times to the International Space Station and spent over a year living there.
I do not believe you that you can get a great cup of coffee inside the International Space Station.
Okay, most of the time you are absolutely correct. The standard cup will not work in a weightless environment. You know, the cup that we're all used to drinking.
Wait, I have a stunt cup right here.
A standard cup like this does not work in a weightless environment. It requires gravity to hold the fluid in the bottom of the cup, and it requires gravity to allow the fluid to flow out when you want to take a sip. A standard cup like this does not work in a weightless environment. It requires gravity to hold the fluid in the bottom of the cup.
It requires gravity to hold the fluid in the bottom of the cup.
It requires gravity to hold the fluid in the bottom of the cup, and it requires gravity to allow the fluid to flow out when you want to take a sip.
Busted. Now that's really, really funny, and there is no doubt about it. They are both liars, but what's really funny is this lady here says there's no buoyancy in a zero gravity environment, but watch the piece of trash that got into the glass of water. Watch it float back to the top of the water. That's called buoyancy, proving that she's not in a zero gravity environment. Now, I know most of you are saying, but hold on a minute. How is the ping pong ball staying under the water? Well, that's really, really simple because it's not a ping pong ball. It's a little sponge ball. And as she sticks the straw in, that's why she's using this great big old straw to put right over the top of it. And as she pushes it down into the water, all the bubbles, all the oxygen bubbles in the sponge ball go right through the straw. And you never see the bubbles go through there until I zoom in to show you the last little bubble escaping up the straw. Check this out. Let me zoom in a little closer. Okay, now watch this. There it goes, right up into the straw. And then you can still see the last little bubble clinging on to the little sponge ball that didn't make it up the straw. I would suggest that China stick to making cheap tools because they're not really good at faking space.